You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Feel it.
Can you feel it?
I feel it. I feel something.
I feel it too. It's the deep breaths.
Deep breaths.
Yes, the deep breaths. Welcome.
Welcome to you, Brandon.
Welcome to you, Chelsea.
Thank you.
We are the Real Relationships family.
That's right. And this is our Real Relationships.
That's right. I am Brandon Cruz.
I'm Chelsea Cruz.
And we're here to lead you into a very soft-spoken, kind of relaxing
meditative review of a 1992 movie.
as meditative as it can be. Before we get into that, as we do on every episode, we go through some initial housekeeping. And Travis is the one who got me into saying housekeeping. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but it makes sense.
You didn't get me into housekeeping.
That makes sense too.
But initial housekeeping. Initial housekeeping. So shoot us an email, ourrealrelationshipspod@gmail.com. Blue Sky, we are at realrelationspod.bsky.com.
Are we at Real Relations Pod?
Yeah, I don't know. I should probably pull up the site, but I never do because no one hits us up. Probably because I give them the wrong site every time.
That's possible.
We're on Instagram, our Real Relationships Pod, whatever it is. You find us. If you're following us, you're already following us, and we appreciate you.
Yes. Thanks for showing up.
Shoot us a comment. Shoot us anything. We appreciate it, and you have been, so shout out to all of you who vote on our polls, who
all 5 of you
send us a comment, like a person I will name eventually throughout this podcast.
I bet it's Jeff.
Oh, you think, but it ain't Jeff this time around.
Oh my gosh, I'm surprised. This is me surprised.
I'm at Barnyard Cruise on Instagram and wherever else you can find your social media. You're at Chell to the Sea Cruise.
That's right.
And Chelsea doesn't respond. So shoot her as many messages as you can.
Load up my DMs. I just dump it every 6 months.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, can you get that lotion I need from the store? And then
Why are you messaging me on Instagram? Why don't you just text me from the next room?
I don't know. It feels like more like, ooh, intimate, like, oh, I'm sliding into your DMs for lotion.
Instagram.
Okay. Well, all that stuff out of the way. Actually, real quick, Apathetic Enthusiasm, go follow that for podcasts. And if you're a fan of Rick and Morty, please go to Rick and Morty podcast. And check out International RSS. We did an interview with the voice actors, Harry Belden and Ian Cardoni, the new voice actors for Morty and Rick from Rick and Morty.
That's really cool that you guys got to do that.
Yeah, then those guys are awesome. And I forgot Ian's birthday.
Oh no,
I did. He told me the day before,
birthday, Ian.
And I missed it. Anyway, Chelsea, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm there's these beautiful drinks over here, but before we do that, we want to talk about the charity for this week, because the movie this week is the 1992 movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Ooh, yes, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's right. It's the movie that is based on the show that was on the CW.
What? Strike that. Reverse it.
Yep. The movie that is the prequel to the show.
And not to be confused with the porno Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's a real
Is
movie.
that really?
That's a real movie. And even Joss Whedon's even credited based on characters created by.
Good job, Joss. You can get porn to your name too. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So in honor of vampires everywhere. So
we salute you.
We do salute you. The charity this week is near and dear to my heart. So for those of you who don't know, I have a very, very rare disease called erythropoietic protoporphyria.
I don't know if it's a disease, but it is a genetic blood disorder.
That's right. And what it does is it essentially, to simplify it, makes me allergic to the sun. So ever since I was a kid, growing up, if I've ever gone out in the sun, it's like, oh yeah, of course you get a sunburn, ha ha ha, and everyone laughs at me. But what it does is I go out in the sun, my skin color doesn't change whatsoever, and I burn. It feels like if you touch a stovetop and then pull your hand away, it's got that lingering burning sensation. That's what my skin feels like when I go out into the sun. And so it's a EPP for short. But this United,
but it's more fun to say erythropoietic protoporphyria.
Yeah. So the charity this week is United Porphyrias Association. And the reason I want to shout them out and honor them this episode is I am currently, if you compared me to like 3 years ago, you'd be like, holy shit.
1 year ago.
Oh yeah. Holy shit, Brandon, you are tan now. So what the United Porphyrias Association did was there are medical trials for drugs across various different drugs. So Sines, Bidopertin is one of them. And they got me in contact with a Mitsubishi. It's a Mitsubishi trial. And what it does is
it really Mitsubishi? I thought you were messing with me earlier.
No, it's really Mitsubishi. And so I take a pill every day. And what that does is it allows me to produce much more melanin, lets me be out in the sun, and I can actually get a tan now. And it has been such a game changer for me. It
probably does other things too, because EPP affects, it mutates your heme, which is part of your hemoglobin. And then you get a backup of protoporphyrias, and those react to the sunlight, which make you like boil from the inside out. So it probably does more than just help you produce melanin. It probably helps you either have less mutations or, I don't know, help you process those protoporphyrins.
Yeah. And it's been so crazy because it's one of those weird things where I used to be a shade hopper, where if it was sunny outside, I would go from shade to shade. If you're like, where's Brandon? You would know that I was somewhere where it was shady. And so it's been a massive help. And so shout out to anybody who has kind of a porphyrin disorder. United Porphyrias Association takes care of that. And I mentioned earlier who I wanted to shout out, and it wasn't Jeff. It's actually dear friend of ours, Bob Carroll.
Oh, Bob.
Who he voted for the movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer because, one, he is afraid of anything that is scary.
I'm surprised he voted for this movie then.
Yeah, well, it was either that or What We Do in the Shadows. But he's like, no interview, no 30 Days of Night.
Yeah, those were too scary. I know. We did the poll with 4 different vampire movies, and 2 of them were lighter.
Yeah.
2 of them were.
I do think he voted for What We Do in the Shadows, but shout out to him also because he's the one who deemed the term sun AIDS for EPP. So shout out to Bob Carroll, who has always been
Bob.
like, hey, Brandon, how's your sun AIDS doing?
For adding to our vernacular.
Anyway, I don't know if we decided on a number as far as the charity goes.
That's a good question. We did not.
But I've been on this world for what, 43 years?
Let's round up to 43. Sure.
Okay. So 43 years, $43 to the United Porphyrias Association. And that is our charity for the week. Now, as far as our drink goes, Chelsea.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Okay. So
anybody who's watching can see it's beautiful. Oh, they've kind of mixed a little bit. But
yeah.
when you first brought it in, there was this beautiful like half-inch layer of red up on top of the drink.
Yeah.
So yours is still has one.
Yeah. What this drink is called is a Devil's Margarita. So it's a margarita with a very thin layer of Cabernet on top to give it that kind of red look. This drink was recommended to me by my favorite bartender, Sonny.
Shout out to Sonny. He's a good bartender too.
He is. And you know why I'm shouting out to Sonny for this movie?
Does he also have EPP?
No.
Oh.
His favorite show of all time is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
And as I was talking to him, like, what drinks do you recommend? He recommended this, and
he showed you how to make it.
He was quoting this movie like so accurately. I watched it last night and I couldn't quoted as accurately as he did.
Oh, nice.
Pretty impressive. Anyways.
Well, if I ever see him again, I'm going to give him props. Cheers to this.
Cheers to you.
Take a little sip before I get started.
Oh,
I like that a lot.
Yeah, interesting, right?
It is interesting. Like the cab has a little bit of a wang dang doodle, a little bit of a curveball.
Because it's that kind of savory that cuts in through the sweet and tangy.
And because I think
margarita.
I had already forgotten what the drink was, and because it was red, I was expecting there to be grenadine in it, and so I was like, "Oh, it's a margarita."
That is a Brandon staple, yeah. Anyway.
Yes. Anyway, so heading into the 1992 movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer, directed by Fran Rubel, and I looked up the pronunciation, Kuzuai.
Okay.
So not a lot going on with our dear Fran. Not a very prolific IMDb resume, but did inspire the show for Buffy, and she was an executive producer on it, but I don't think that she had very much to do with it because there were all those disagreements between her and Mr. Whedon about what it should look like. She went more bubblegum camp, and he wanted it to be really dark and serious, which is why
interesting.
The Buffy show is so dark.
It also, my sexism is showing because for some reason I was thinking Fran Rubel Kuzuai was like Fran being like a Franz Ferdinand. Like I was thinking like a male. And so that's
I did the same thing. So that was my sexism also. So let's get more ladies in film.
Yeah.
But she also wrote and directed this movie called Tokyo Pop, which I'm kind of interested in watching now, but that's from 1988, and it's is what it sounds like. This musician and they fall in love, and so it's a kind of a musical rom-com.
Interesting.
Of course, it was written by Joss Whedon. Did you know that Joss is short for Joseph?
Oh no, I thought it would be Joshua.
I did not think it would be Joseph.
No, I didn't either. That's strange. I have the headphones on this entire time.
Just occurred to me that you do have the headphones on.
Yeah, it's because I laughed into the microphone. Joss
Whedon.
What else has he done? Probably nothing.
Oh,
right?
A few things. He created Firefly and Angel and Dollhouse. All wonderful. You know what? I've never seen an episode of Buffy, so I can't speak on that one or Angel.
The Avengers.
But I really love Dollhouse and I really love Firefly. You know more about his movie stuff than I do. I didn't bother to look up all of his movie stuff because I kind of feel like a lot of people know who Joss Whedon is.
He did Serenity, the movie that's based off of Firefly. Mm-hmm. And then he did Alien Resurrection, which is Alien 4. The one with he did Beauty and the Beast. He was Beast in the show with Linda Hamilton. Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman's in that.
In what?
Alien 4.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me that Joss Whedon did Beauty and the Beast with what's her, Linda Hamilton.
No,
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. Slow down.
So he did. But definitely Alien Resurrection, and then the Avengers. He did Avengers, the first Avengers movie, and then Avengers with Age of Ultron. And then that's when he dropped out of movie business.
He's done a lot of stuff, so that's why I didn't list it all. But this was his first original screenplay. And then he did write the screenplay for the first Toy Story, I think.
Oh, really?
But double check that.
Everybody, double check. This is your
his grandfather wrote for Donna Reed and Leave It to Beaver, and his father wrote for Benson and the Dick Cavett Show. So from a long line of writers, and his brother's name is Jed, which is already amazing. But he's also a screenwriter, producer, composer, and his brother Zach's a screenwriter, director. So all the Whedons.
Huh? We know a Zach screenwriter.
We do. Zach Olkowitz.
Yeah.
He wrote Bullet Train, and he wrote Last Voyage of the Demeter, but we're not talking about that right now, but he's amazing. Check out all the things he did.
And his dad was in Twin Peaks. It's all thing.
Walter Olkowitz. Yeah. He was in Grace Under Fire. That's what I used to watch him.
That's right. And then of course we got Christy Swanson.
Yes,
who is
Little Miss Buffy.
That's right. She is Buffy. Donald Sutherland The Great you want
question?
Yes.
Do you know Buffy's last name?
Swanson.
No, I didn't know it because I'd never seen the show. I don't even know if it's the same in the show. It's Summers or Summer.
Buffy Summer.
Summer or Summers.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. It doesn't say that at all in any of the movie, and definitely not in the credits.
It doesn't. And then I forgot to look in the credits, but I think that I know Luke Perry's in it, and I think he's just credited as Pike. But when I was looking him up today, he was credited as Oliver Pike. And I was like, I don't know that that's anywhere in the movie. One point he is wearing like a mechanic's shirt and said Otis on it. But I never saw any. But he plays Pike, yes.
Otis, the classic shortened version of Oliver.
Donald Sutherland plays Merrick. He's the movie's version of Giles from the TV show. I don't know why they changed it to Giles, because I like the name Merrick.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the TV show. So, just real quick aside, you've never watched a single episode of the show. Neither have I.
But I still know a few things about it just because I'm alive.
Yeah, like Willow is one of the characters. Spike is a character. Oz, yeah. And a note about Spike, is that meant to be Pike? Related to Pike?
Oh, I have no clue.
Because it threw me off because
I think they're enemies for a long time, but then they end up being lovers.
Who's the person who played not Willow, the one who just passed away?
Luke Perry,
the young woman, Traz Macadano.
What name are you saying?
I'll find it out.
You're trying to find out the name of someone who was in the Buffy TV show?
Yeah.
Because the only one I know is Allison Hannigan, but Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yes. Yeah. She was in the show, and
you got it there. You got me there.
But anyway, about the movie. Let's talk about
Rutger Hauer plays the main villain, Lothos.
Hitchhiker.
Yes, hobo with a shotgun.
Yep.
Well, I could go into detail about all these people, but I feel
Blade
like you
Runner.
wanted to just spit out the actors real quick. I thought.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's the vibe I was getting.
Sorry.
I'm like, okay, let's run through them quick.
Spit them out.
Well, the rest of them are like cameos, kind of. Well, Paul Rubens is not just a cameo; he's in it. But we got Hilary Swank this is her film debut. David Arquette's in it. Candy Clark plays Buffy's mom, and some people might know her best from American Graffiti. She's the really cute, big-haired blonde who hangs out with the dorky guy the whole night long. Mark DiCarlo plays the coach. He used to host a game show called Studs. You remember that dating game show from the 90s?
I don't.
Oh, I used to watch it all the time. Anyway, that's what I recognized him from. Thomas Jane is apparently in it, although I didn't catch it, but he's a mechanic friend of Luke Perry's.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't see him.
And then Ben Affleck has a little cameo in it.
He does.
So it's got left and right.
Yeah, Ben Affleck is
a hot year for all them 1992ers.
Middle end of the movie, and he is on the basketball court, and he like hands the ball off to the guy who
I didn't write his name down, that guy.
Yeah, he's in Dazed and Confused.
Yes, with Ben Affleck.
And he's like, here, you can have it. So what Sonny was telling me earlier was there's a little bit of trivia there. So that was like Ben Affleck's first role in movies. And he actually, I guess he had a bigger role at some point in time, like maybe like another couple lines. And so it wasn't until he watched the movie that he was like, oh, like I hand the ball. That's all I do is hand the ball off and say, here you go. You can have it. But he didn't actually say that line. It was actually dubbed over. Somebody else did the voice for him.
Who did? Sonny.
Yeah. Sonny didn't tell us that, but
Sonny came home.
And if that's a lie, if that whole story is a lie, blame it on Sonny. Go to Bar Louie.
Oh my gosh, you're really calling him out. Send people to his place of business.
I'm not telling you which Bar Louie. But anyway, so that was interesting to me.
Is that why you were so long at the bar today after work? Is because you were getting all the trivia?
I was getting trivia and I was getting a drink idea.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
So are you going to start going there every like Tuesday or Wednesday when we're going to record to get a drink idea?
Sonny, tell me what drinks to make. Anyway.
All right. Well, do you want to dive into the movie or do you want to talk about these peeps?
Well, Whichever, like anything that jumped out about any of the actors that you wanted
I'll
to
just say that if you want to talk about our relationship with the movie,
yeah,
it's strong with this one for me. I've seen this movie a lot of times and I love it every time.
How many times would you say you've seen it?
Gosh, 27.
Damn.
That's my guess.
And that's an estimate.
Yes, it is. And a half probably slept, probably fell asleep. But I just have, one question for you. How funky is your chicken? How funky is your chicken, Brandon?
Hoop.
How loose is your goose? My goose is totally loose. Love that cheer.
That's a good.
And she says, dribble, shoot, take that ball to the hoop, hoop, and shoot. Don't rhyme.
They do
perfectly.
Yeah, you got it. But yeah, it's not a perfect
close
rhyme.
enough for a cheer.
27 times is your estimate for how many times you've seen it. How many times have I seen it?
Maybe twice. I'm gonna guess.
Maybe twice. At most twice, because I definitely fell asleep.
And they were both this month because I watched it just a few weeks ago before we watched it last night.
I definitely fell asleep the first time we watched it, and I woke up and like, oh, okay, I've seen this part of the. Okay, maybe it evens out because I've seen the ending of the movie. I don't think I've ever seen like any of like the first hour and change.
Oh, really? No backstory? How weren't you lost? Weren't you confused about what was happening?
For sure.
You came in at the end. Like, what is your damage?
What is your damage?
Oh, I can't wait to talk to Dexter about this movie because he has so much. He's 13, so his generation and he himself has so many different weird lingo things that they say these days. And how dare he laugh at any of the ones that were in that movie? How dare he?
How dare he? So, okay. So I've seen it twice officially. Seen it over 27 times. Basically,
would you watch it again?
If I had to do a podcast for it, yeah.
I didn't like any parts of it enough to watch it again. To study it, because the more you watch it, the more you catch little things, and the acting is not that bad.
It's not that I don't like the movie. It's just that it's not that good to me.
Okay, I'll take it up with Joseph.
I'll take it up with Joseph and Fran. To me, this is like, right, wrong, or indifferent. I lump this movie in with Clueless and
you're gonna say Mean Girls.
No. I have never seen Mean Girls, but I wouldn't lump it in with that. I would lump it in with like Dude, Where's My Car? Of the movies that I'm like, I don't really like these movies, and this like shouts out to a culture of my high school and junior high school and elementary school that I was not a part of.
You're not Valley. That's why.
Yeah, right. I grew up on the streets.
And I'm from the Valley. So like, why? And like, what?
Yeah. They basically like went to your high school or your elementary school and they're like, Kelsey.
Yes.
Talk
my
normally.
My sister talks way more Valley than way.
Does she?
Totally.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
She doesn't.
To where she gets like offended if someone like down on Valley, or she's like, but why though?
She's like, skibbity.
Oh no. But you said Dude, Where's My Car? And that reminded me, Christy Swanson's in Dude, Where's My Car? And her character's name in that is Christy Boner.
Which character is that?
She's a minor one with big boobies.
Yeah. Christy Swanson is
she's got a nice couple.
Yeah, she's nice looking.
Yes, she is. She was 23 when she made this movie. Prime Christy Swanson, because then I think after this she did The Chase with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
But before this, she actually won an award, some kind of like Young Actors Award for Flowers in the Attic. Do you know that one? It was a book it is a book by V.C. Andrews, and it's dark. And she plays.
Is that the one like suicide and stuff like that?
There might be in it. I don't remember all the details of it, but it's the one where there's like the 3 kids locked up in the attic of this evil grandmother, and then like incest happens. That's real.
Yeah, that maybe I'm thinking of like the one where like they go into like an imaginary world. It's not a flowers. Maybe it's Flowers.
You mean where they go see Mr. Tumnus? Are you talking about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
No. But the other one I'm thinking, it's not that, but the other one I was thinking was Flowers for Algernon.
I love that book.
Which is a great story. And
book and story. Yes, I love that story. But anyway, she didn't win anything for Flowers of Algernon. She won for Flowers in the Attic. So she had already won. That was in 1987. And she did Hot Shots in 1991. Do you remember that she was in Hot Shots?
Oh.
She's the girl with the big boobs in it.
She's so hot.
And then
Topper Harley.
So then she did this in 1992. And then she's in Big Daddy in 1999. She's Adam Sandler's ex-girlfriend that ends up with the old guy with his old balls. And Dude, Where's My Car in 2000, where she plays Christy Boner.
Huh. Christy Swanson.
What a career. And so many more things. I only obviously named the ones I like. I want to name.
Before we go into the movie further, I want to talk about Luke Perry, because this is like the height of 90210 too, right? Like 92?
Yeah, and he did 90210 from 90 to 2000, I think. So yeah, it would be he's pretty popular in 92.
Yeah, so like I wonder as far as his character and him deciding to take on this role, if he's like, all right, I did 90210, now I'm gonna leap into the movies with this Buffy movie. Well, I mean, what were you a 90210 fan? Were you? I mean, you like Brandon, obviously.
Obviously, I was just like, I just like his name, but fuck his face. I wasn't a huge 90210 when it came out. I was only 8, so I wasn't there yet. But I did, because I was like a My So-Called Life, which was came a few years later.
Claire Danes.
As my
Jared Leto
teen angst show that I watched.
She's really good. Not a.
Well, throw a rock. No, I'm saying. No, I'm saying.
No, I'm saying. Shut up.
No, throw a rock. Hit a abuser.
Don't throw that rock.
Don't you throw that rock, Ricky Bobby.
Don't you throw that rock, babe.
Luke Perry, R.I.P. The last couple of things that he did, he played Archie's dad in Riverdale. And then he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, apparently, but I can't remember from which part.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But maybe Jeff knows, or Bob. But his real name actually is Coy Luther Perry the Third.
Huh.
Coy, C-O-Y, like Sly Coy.
I mean, Luke is the better name.
He didn't name. I will note that he didn't name any of his children Coy Luther Perry the Fourth.
Oh, he has kids.
He has a couple, yeah.
Oh, R.I.P. him, not his kids.
Yeah, he died in 2019 after a stroke. Gosh.
I would never claim that he's a good actor, but he's one of those actors that over the years I think all those 90210 essentially, I'm like, like, good on you for like surviving that era of fame.
Yeah.
To make it so far. Well, obviously he didn't survive because he's dead now, but still.
Yeah. He didn't die from
the fame
overdose.
Yeah, in a hot tub.
I was hoping my reference was vague enough, and then you added more details.
Okay.
Watch Buffy again. Luke Perry's delivery is very natural, and if you were ever 17 and knew like the cutie little 17-year-old boy, that is it. He acted exactly on point, in my opinion.
Yeah. In Buffy, likewise, the stuck-up hot chick who I'm like, yeah, that'll never happen until it did. Honey, I got you.
Oh no, I wasn't stuck up and hot then. Just now.
Okay, so as far as the movie goes, so what is? Let's go into Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, what do you remember before having rewatched it? What do you remember about the movie? Like, why was this a movie that
I watched so many times?
Yeah, that stuck with you for so long.
I don't know. Probably because it had a cute boy in it and a girl who kicks some ass. And I always loved horror movies, so it has the vampire element, and it also has comedy in it. So when it came out, I was 10. I probably watched it right out the gate, and since then, I've watched it like at least once a year. It's just a movie that if it's on, I'll turn it on.
Yeah. What are your favorite parts about the movie?
Don't make me choose. What are your favorite parts, Mister? I just watched it 2 times.
My favorite parts of the movie, it's Paul Rubens. So Paul Rubens.
Even after we started watching his documentary, you still feel the same way about Paul Rubens?
I do.
It seems like he was probably a lot to deal with.
Catty and a little bit of a diva.
And pretentious.
And pretentious. Yeah. No, I mean, the thing about it is,
I think he intended this to be like a serious role for him, but it doesn't come off that way at all because everyone, like he just is Pee-wee. He's no one else to me. Sorry, Paul Rubens. He can't hear me. R.I.P.
Well, I think that's the thing with Paul Rubens, not to get too far away from this movie that we're talking about, which we've already done that multiple times, but Paul Rubens early on in his career, like, go watch this I Am Pee-wee or whatever documentary.
Pee-wee as himself, I think it's called.
Go check it out because it gives you more insight on Paul Rubens, right? But the thing is, he made a decision early on. I am Pee-wee. I'm gonna market myself as Pee-wee. No one's gonna know me as anything but Pee-wee. Paul Rubens.
It was a business decision he made because he knew he couldn't pull off both and sell. He couldn't sell Pee-wee if he were only pretending.
Right, and we haven't even gotten to the part in the documentary. There's 2 parts where it goes into
way off topic.
Yeah, but it's all about him. I think about it now, and I always see him as Pee-wee. A lot of people only see him as Pee-wee, and so like I was talking to Jeff. Here's my Jeff reference.
Jeff!
Of like he's like, yeah. Oh, and then Pee-wee is doing that as he's dying a long time, and it's like he's like I always forget his real name, right? That is an essence of what Paul Rubens and Pee-wee is.
Because he said to you, Pee-wee is doing the thing.
He made himself that character where nobody actually knows it. Anyway, so
and his name is not even Paul Rubens; it's Paul Rubenfeld.
Yeah.
So
just
double whammy.
Just like Coy, Lukenfeld,
Coy Luther Perry the Third. Very distinguished.
Very distinct. Anyway, where do you
Pee-wee's in it?
Where do you want to take this?
Donald Sutherland. He plays Merrick. I love the name Merrick.
Yeah.
And I love Donald Sutherland in this. Yeah. It's a little different from a lot of Donald Sutherland characters, I think. But apparently he was a huge pain in the ass on set because he was just improvising and like making his characters say things that are like real mystical and not in the script at all. And Joss Whedon didn't like it. He cried his way off set. No one's taking me seriously. So this is supposed to be dark and scary. It is too bubblegummy. That's the word it got used a lot.
Isn't that interesting? Let's compare Sutherland being like, I'm just going to say random mystical things to like the Avengers where like the whole thing is like, let's just joke around a lot. That's what's going to be it's like kind of an improvisational tone.
Well, yeah. So I don't know when Joss Whedon was born. So I don't know how old he was when he made this movie or when he wrote this movie. So maybe he was just like a young
whippersnapper,
little pissy kid.
Yeah.
Snot-nosed kid. I hate that one.
Snot-nosed. Snot or snot-nosed? The hyphen.
I don't like the word snot. But anyway, Donald Sutherland ignored the script, which I feel like at that point in Donald Sutherland's life, he was born in 1935. So he's maybe like not quite 60 when this movie came out. So he's like, I've been in so much stuff because he started in The Dirty Dozen in 1967. So by 1992, he's like, I'll do what I want. And then I'll go do the Hunger Games.
He is so fucking old.
He's dead.
Oh, is he dead?
He died last year.
Oh no, I didn't realize. Ooh.
In Florida, because that'll kill you.
Yeah.
Lickety splits.
I didn't know. I didn't realize he died.
He did. I remember us talking about it the day of, but you just forgot. Sorry, he died again. Double death.
Sorry. Oh, that makes me depressed.
Sorry, honey.
Aww.
I mean, he is so old. How old is he?
He's dead.
Oh no.
That sucks. Anyways,
I just killed your innocence as well.
That ruins me.
I'm so sorry. Do you want to hear anything else about him, or do you want to come back to him?
No, just get it out of the way.
He's Canadian. He was Canadian. Sorry.
No, Jesse. God, no. Stop it.
That was an accident.
No, don't do anymore. Don't anymore. You're going to...
I like that he studied, it made me think of my college career. He studied engineering and drama. That's how I was like, I'm majoring in science and film. Like, don't know what I want to do. But obviously he ended up in drama. When he was 16, this is also like a weird, interesting fact to me. He contracted 1, rheumatic fever, 2, hepatitis, and 3, spinal meningitis, all at the same time. They gave him hours to live at 16, and he survived and lived a long, wonderful life after that. So he was very appreciative of life after that.
I'm glad he didn't die of all of that at 90. Over 90.
They all came back to get him.
Yeah. R.I.P. Donald Sutherland.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah, no.
Kiefer's still alive. Fact check.
R.I.P. Okay, we've talked a lot about the actors. A lot about the actors, and I think the actors are more interesting about this movie than the actual movie itself.
Okay.
I know.
I don't have a lot of like movie.
I'm not gonna shit on the movie.
I almost called it like tits and tribs, but I wanted to say like bits and trivias, but tits and tribs also.
So this movie came out when we were 10 years old.
Yes.
And
Bob was older.
Sutherland?
Bob
Sutherland?
Carroll.
Oh, Bob Carroll. So was this like one of the earliest vampire movies that you remember having seen?
Oh, my dad probably made me watch other vampire movies when I was much younger. And this was probably not on his list of like, and she should watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
So then was this a movie that kind of like sticks out because it was your vampire movie?
That's a good question. It just definitely does feel like one of my like, I don't think my dad. No, you know what? I think my dad has seen this movie because I remember him saying recently, like, "That's a good movie." He doesn't talk like that.
That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
Hey, Brandon, thanks for marrying my daughter.
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know if I ever thought of it that way. Sorry, I don't have an answer for you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Like, what other vampire movies stick out to you, or stake out to you?
Oh, I see what you did there. That drink that I just took stronger than the last drink I took. Oh, you are really putting me on the spot.
Of course. Well, reversed it on me.
Okay, but I also have a question for you after this.
Okay.
All right. Some vampire movies stand out to you, but do you mean from my childhood?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what vampire movies from your childhood stand out
to you? There was a porno I watched.
Buffy the Vampire
Slayer. The first vampire.
Nosferatu. I just made that up.
I'm not even gonna. I'll just pretend like I'm gonna say the next line, but let you give you enough time to come up with a new one.
I can't. I'm spent.
And so
I can't think of
what it was gonna be was
Dracula.
Dracula.
I just have a lot of different names for a vagina. So.
Why do they all have to be vagina references?
Interview with the Vagpire.
Dracocula.
That doesn't even make any sense. That's too many syllables.
Dracocula.
No, you're ruining it.
Dr. Cockula.
That's like, he's in Spider-Man. Doc Cock. Doc Cock is.
Jeez. There was a movie that I watched with my older brother Tim and my uncle Daniel. And I don't remember
a porno.
No. Well,
that's what we that's got.
Got
us started.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a porno. It was a movie. I don't know who the actor is, but he's like a really kind of dorky actor. He's like, oh, I'm kind of like this. I'm kind of like a really dorky guy. Not Once Bitten with Jim Carrey, but
a vampire movie.
It was a vampire movie. But he's like I can't even remember the plot of it, but I just remember vaguely.
Was he like the main character?
Yeah. Vaguely him being the hero of this vampire. I'll have to hit up Tim to see if he even remembers what it is, but that's like the first one that I really, really remember having any kind of experience with.
It wasn't Fright Night.
No, it wasn't Fright Night. Fright Night's good though. I even like the remake of Fright Night with Anton Yelchin.
Oh, R.I.P. What world?
Yeah.
This sad podcast.
But has this
I'd be interested to find out what your vampire movie.
Has this given you enough time to think about yours?
Oh, I stopped thinking of it because I was thinking of vagina puns. I don't know. I just really appreciate a good vampire movie. But there are a lot that I love. I could be boring and say like Nosferatu. And I also love Buffy, and I love Once Bitten. I think that's a great movie. I like a comedy vampire. I like a non-comedy. Like a whiskey drink. I like a lager drink.
I even like Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood.
And you don't have a Bordello of Blood t-shirt we were finding out this evening.
I don't, but I do have a Joe Bob Briggs Very Violent Valentine. And there are bats in the background.
I got monsters on my shirt, so there's a Dracula.
Okay, I think this I want to kind of use that as a segue, because so the lore of vampires has come so far, right? Start with all the Bram Stoker stuff. We go through Once Bitten. We go through that one movie that I can't name because I don't remember the title of it. 30 Days a Night, Interview with the Vampire.
I know. I just found it. Not a vampire. It's the vampire.
The lore of Fright Night. The lore of vampires like keeps shifting depending on what movie it is we're watching. How do you think Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of pulls in some of that lore? Do you think like it goes in
it stays
good direction
with some traditional ways to kill a vampire, stakes and sunlight, so it keeps some of that additional stuff, but I love that it has this whole extra part of there being a slayer, and the slayer is in all these different generations, and then Merrick reincarnates when he finds out who the new slayer is so that he can train them. And so I really like that they add this whole new backstory to it.
Yeah.
That I don't remember being in any of the other ones. I don't know of like Van Helsing, what his backstory is as a vampire slayer. So maybe there's some similarities there, but love that they made it a girl, like a young girl. She's a teenager even, so that it's kind of a coming of age movie also.
Yeah. Where she learns that all of the stuff that I'm dealing with as a high school teenager, it's not important in the grand scheme of things because I have responsibility. I have things to move on to. I have people to save. So yeah, I agree with coming of age.
I just remembered Stephen Root's also in this movie.
Yes, Stephen Root.
He plays the principal.
And he doesn't have a stapler.
No, he doesn't. Detention. I just, there's lines in that movie that I just even remember the beat of the line, like how it goes. Pike's not a name, it's a fish. It holds that shh sound out.
I like when he's going through all the dead vampires in the prom or senior dance. Detention. And then he just throws a couple in. He's good when his like little side rant about like trying to be cool with Buffy.
Yeah. Taking drugs.
Yeah, I went to a concert. What concert was it? It was like,
shoot,
I'll say Grateful Dead just for it wasn't, but he's like, I took some bad acid. And then Buffy's like, there's a fly buzzing around. She grabs a thumb tack, puts in her mouth.
That's a pretty badass part, because before that they just kind of, and it kind of doesn't track with the rest of her training, but it's a big leap from, she's like jumping and punching and tumbling, and she's already kind of a gymnast, so she can tumble. She's punching, and then all of a sudden she's like the Karate Kid on crack.
Yeah.
Catch him with chopsticks. She caught it with a push pin. Push pin? That's what they're called, right?
Push pin, yeah, not a thumbtack.
Thumbtack.
I said thumbtack, but it's more
better.
No, yours is better. The push pin is better. Thumbtack is like, they're like flat.
Push pin leaves too many pops in the microphone.
Push pin. But yeah, Stephen.
No, he doesn't go to a Toad the Wet Sprocket concert. That's not what he says.
I know the band name. I just don't know.
Well, that's okay. We had to rent the movie. It must have just been taken out of streaming, because I watched it a few weeks ago and it was streaming somewhere. Anyway, we rented it, and we have 48 hours to watch it again. We can watch it. He went to his concert. Thomas Jane is in it. How crazy Rutger Hauer is.
Oh no, I don't know where we're going with this anymore.
I'm done.
Yeah, Stephen Root. He's great.
He said you couldn't remember what concert he went to. We have it for 48 hours. We'll watch it again.
Yeah, Toad the Wet Sprocket. Okay, so music wise, so you're a big fan of music and film, composers, the soundtrack.
This movie.
Tell me about it. Like,
it was something that I looked up the score, and it's Carter Burwell. But I'm like, I don't know that name, and it's crazy that I don't know that name, because he's done 17 Coen Brothers movies.
Oh, holy shit!
I know. And he also did Banshees of Inisherin, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and then 17 of the Coen Brothers movies: Fargo, A Serious Man, Burn After Reading, No Country for Old Men. Wow. That's a very quiet soundtrack. Lady Killers. His composer debut was Blood Simple. So he did the music for Buffy, and I did not register it or hear the music. I guess I just like don't track the music in that movie.
Here's first of all, like that's incredible. Which was a show back in the 80s. That's incredible. But what's incredible is like he's done all of these soundtracks, these scores for all these Coen Brother movies. You don't hear his music in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
So were you paying attention to the music in Buffy?
Here's the thing. I had no choice but to pay attention to the music in Buffy.
You hated the movie so much.
No. Because the music that jumps out to me is not a score. It's all of the diegetic music that comes out
like the pop songs.
Yes, like the initial scene, like the opening credits, where it spends like 20 minutes.
It's a really long cheerleader.
Right, like that. All of that music going on. At the end of the movie, where they're at the dance. And like the vampire DJ is like, like all of that music is going on, and it's like it's not a score. It is just music being played.
There's obviously all like the scenes in the graveyard and the fight scenes that are scored.
But you don't notice that because it's not as like in your face as
her boobs.
Yeah, I know it wasn't.
I mean, it's hard to pay attention to much else.
Put your nipple away. I can see it through your top.
Such an amazing prom dress.
Yeah. But you don't notice the score, the subtle score, because it's being overpowered by like the pop and the actual like the alternative bands that are coming out in the night.
Well, that kind of movie though, where it's kind of that vibe anyway, this high school teen vibe. Don't you think that makes sense to have more pop music in it.
It does
like
make
an
sense.
Encino Man or something.
and I'm not shitting on that at all. But it just it drowns out the talent of the guy who's done all these Coen Brothers.
Yeah, and that was just I just wrote that fact down, but he has done a ton of other movies that aren't Coen Brother movies. He's and Carter Burwell. I was like, I'm almost embarrassed that I don't know who that is after reading his list.
And we know that he listens to this podcast pretty religiously, so we apologize to you, Carter.
Wish. So I was just looking at some of the songs that they have in here, some of the pop songs. They got the first one that they're doing that cheerleading routine to, and they do the twice. If you can go through the routine twice, we need to watch something else. We don't need to watch the whole routine twice. Anyway, that song is called Keep It Coming, Dance Till You Can't Dance No More, by CNC Music Factory. Oh. Music Factory. Why I say it like that, I don't know.
Come on, sweat.
Then they have I Ain't Gonna Eat Out My Heart Anymore that's during her montage.
Is that the Divinals?
That is the Divinals.
I could
You could tell during the movie?
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Here's why I could, well, I don't know if I could tell because of this, but here's why I thought it was the Divinals. Because the Divinals sing, all I want, I don't want anybody else.
That's the song.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
Ooh, nice.
And
a little pitchy dog.
A little pitchy. Yeah. But in the movie, what was the song title?
Which one?
That they sing in the film.
I Ain't Gonna Eat Out My Heart Anymore.
I ain't gonna eat out my heart anymore. It was like, okay.
It's not a double negative.
No, it's a double entendre is what it is.
Oh.
Not gonna eat out my heart anymore. She doesn't want him to eat out her heart anymore.
Okay. Stop saying it.
Vagina. Chelsea, where's the Dracula reference when I need where's the vagina Dracula reference when I need it?
I ain't gonna eat out your heart anymore.
I ain't gonna eat out. I can't do it.
That was like the Monster Man. So what? But was she singing? I ain't gonna eat out my heart. Was she singing it like? How'd you know?
No, it was like knew? Her voice, and it seemed. I'm like kind of joking about the eat out your heart part, but like it has a sexual connotation.
Yes.
And I was thinking that as I was listening to it, I'm like, okay, her voice matches what I don't want
her
anybody
sexual
else.
Innuendo vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. There was an Ozzy Osbourne song in there, "Party with the Animals." I don't know that
either.
And there was a Matthew Sweet song in there. There was a Toad the Wet Sprocket song in there, "Little Heaven." So you're right. There are quite a few pop songs in there, and that was just some of them.
And it drowns out the score itself.
What I noticed during I was listening to the lyrics of a couple of those songs, and they didn't match what is going on in the movie at all. They're
Eat out my heart.
They're talking about like she's doing her warrior montage, and it's talking about breaking up with a guy. Like that's not what she's doing. But anyway.
Well,
I'm too literal, I guess.
In a way, she is breaking up with a guy, right? Because she's
breaking up with a girl, and it's Buffy from yesterday. They're breaking up.
That's right. Well, I mean, she's dating a guy in the beginning of the movie, and then she's kind of moving on from him, and she's like falling for Luke Perry's Pike character. So in a way, she's becoming an adult, and Luke Perry, he's a man.
He is a man. I'm assuming they don't go to high school, so they're probably and they have booze all the time, so they're probably 21. What?
So she's jailbait, and he's should go to prison for statutory rape.
He shows up to her prom. Oh my god, that's every 17-year-old girl's dream, that her older 22-year-old boyfriend shows up to her prom. But if you're a 22-year-old boy and you're doing that,
we don't approve.
Your mom. Your mom will tell you to stop that.
we're rolling into kind of the end of the episode, Chelsea.
We didn't put in our Dexter bit, but we are going to talk to him about it.
We are. What do you want people to know about you in this movie? Right? It's our real relationships. I don't care about this movie, but I care about you. So I want to know what you
should know that my goose is totally loose. That's the big takeaway from this. Like, I have the funkiest chicken. My chicken is oh so funky. And my goose is totally loose. So that enables me to shake my caboose from time to time.
Before we get into
hate me a little bit?
I do a lot. Before we get into talking to Dexter about this movie, right? And you're gonna be talking to him, you're gonna be interviewing him. Before we get into it, and I released that bonus episode, here's what I want to say is the first 20 minutes of the movie, Dexter is talking nonstop, and he's like, he hates the movie.
He's Mystery Science Theatering it.
Yeah, he does not like it. And I'm like, I'm with you.
And in fact, you might have learned this behavior from me.
I am 100% with you, but your mom likes this movie a lot.
Oh, thanks for standing up.
So please
advocating for me.
So please shut your mouth. I didn't say that to him, but I did feel bad because I was like, can't talk through the whole movie.
Yeah. I get defensive, then I'm like, do you not like this?
So I do.
This is part of me.
I feel bad about that, but like honestly, like the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the movie, it's like that is the chore of getting through it, right? Before she starts like realizing, oh, okay, she is.
Yeah, because Dexter's like, there's nobody likable.
Right. Like everyone is talking in slang. It's slang I don't understand. It's all cringy. Like,
yeah, that's because they're teenagers. Teenagers are not likable.
Yeah. And then what I'll say is like by the end of it, he seemed to be into it. And yes. It is that like initial.
It's just such a cool movie to me. I don't like a lot of movies that are like kind of in that color scheme. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't normally the kind of movie that I am drawn to.
I don't know if we've ever talked about.
I'm more of a blue-gray, not so much of, like a teal pink.
So here's our new rating scheme for our real relationship.
We never gave it any chicken buckets.
We're now going to talk about color schemes. That's how we're rating movies. Chelsea rates this movie as a blue-gray.
No.
Oh.
But anyway, that this isn't the typical movie that I would be into. So does it confuse you that I'm into it?
No, it doesn't confuse me that you're into it. I think.
Do you see the draw? Like, because you're like, I hate this movie. So how can you, like, does she like this? How do I?
No, not.
Who did I marry? I don't even know who you are anymore.
No, not at all. This movie came out in 92. We were both 10 years old. At 10 years old, I was 92. Like I was already into Terminator 2 and like horror films, like and action films. This was like at 10 years old for you to me, this seems like a perfect movie for that age group of like, this is what cool teenagers look like at like, yes. This is what I want to be like in 5-6 years. What do I have to like? I was already being compared to Brandon from 90210. I didn't
just because you're the same name though.
Right. And so like
that's annoying.
Luke Perry is already there. Like, oh, you're gonna see Buffy. Oh. Like, I get it. Look, my name is Brandon too.
So you don't like the movie because people called you the same name as the kid from 90210?
I right or wrong, I think
you love this movie so much and you're just afraid to.
You're right. And that's it, everybody. I am, if I gave this a chicken bucket rating, I'd give it, KFC's top.
Ew, gross for one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, gross.
That
came out before I even thought about it.
Yeah. Anyways, what would you rate this movie out of however many chicken buckets?
Let's see, 67 chicken buckets.
There you go, everybody. 60 chicken buckets.
67.
67 chicken buckets for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And
I
got a box of 18 KFC hot wings. KFC discontinued them, and I'm like, those are the best things that KFC
brought them back. I thought
no, they brought like a ghost pepper thing back, and it's not the same. So
now I'm hungry.
So if you have any questions or any thoughts about this episode, anything that we said here, Chelsea, how can they find us?
Oh boy. We're on Blue Sky at ourrealrelations.bsky.social.
Uh-huh.
Is that true?
Uh-huh.
And then, so just search Our Real Relationships, but real is spelled REEL. Or you can search for Brandon Cruz, but he's not that Brandon Cruz. Or you can search for me, Chelsea Cruz, and you won't find me. I'm a ghost.
So fantastic. Two more things before we head out, Chelsea. One is the official Chelsea segment of things I forgot to mention last time.
I don't have any. I mean, I did, but I didn't remember what they were.
Okay.
It had something to do with, I remember we were talking about Field of Dreams and we never got to the composer part. Because I always put that last. So James Horner did Field of Dreams, which we had already talked about him before because he did Aliens. And so we mentioned some of the things he did, these big sweeping pieces that he's done, Titanic and Aliens and Star Trek and all that. But this Field of Dreams one was so quiet and subtle that I had no idea it was James Horner. So it's a sneaky James Horner.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, if you want to know what Chelsea's thoughts of Field of Dreams, the novel are, she's been listening to the audiobook and she doesn't like it. So that's her thoughts.
So far, I'm like, oh, thank God they made this movie because this book is not good.
Yeah, it's not great.
Not that the book isn't good, but that the characters are not likable in it. They're not anything like the characters in Field of Dreams where you love.
He actually buys a gun. It's not even a fake gun.
He's so snivelly and annoying.
And that's basically Kevin Costner.
No.
And the second thing I wanted to say was that we appreciate all of you. It's important to us that you're listening. That's not actually what I wanted to say, but
it's nice.
Yeah, thanks. I had something cooler to say.
Oh, fish. We can only hope, right?
Sometimes I start talking because I'm like, I know if I start talking, it's gonna come out.
Is that what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're over an hour here, so
yeah.
I was wondering what's going on with you sometimes when you're just rambling, talking. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my God, he's just making sure he's filibustering. He's just making sure I can't talk till he thinks of his thing.
Right. And what ends up happening when eventually, as I keep talking and I'm listening to what I'm saying, then I come out and say, the last thing I want to say is that United Porphyrias Association is the charity that we're given to this week, and $43. That's what we're giving this week on behalf of the vampires with sun AIDS all over the world.
Thanks, Bob.
So yeah, go ahead and shoot that out. And next week we're going to be talking about what movie? Did we talk about?
I think Arthur. But don't hold us to that. But I'm pretty sure Arthur, the 1980 movie
featuring Roger Moore.
No, all of a sudden I forgot his name. Dudley Moore. You screwed me up.
I got you back on track. Arthur, gonna take a chance again. Gonna put our love on the line. It's
get caught between the moon and
New York City.
That's right.
Chelsea associates that with her mom, whose birthday is coming up soon. So we want to go ahead and celebrate Cindy Shower and her upcoming birthday by talking about a movie that we always associate with. So stay tuned. But until next time.
Our Real Relationships.
That's right. That's Chelsea.
That's Brandon. Take a deep breath.
This is the Cruises.
We made it, you guys.
Did it. I don't know how we did it.